This entrepreneur discovered Simon and Garfunkel.
And Helen Reddy and Marvin Gaye bankrolled his first store.
Find out who it is next on Sarah's Wiki Corner podcast. It is 4:15, time for Sarah's Wiki Corner. Sarah, what are we learning about today on your Wiki Corner?
Well, it is Throwback Thursday.
Yes.
And our throwback year today is 1975.
It is, yes.
And that is the year that Famous Amos was founded.
Really?
And his cookies.
The Cookie Man.
Yeah, so there was a real famous Amos. He's still alive.
He's
yeah.
still alive?
His name...
When you last checked 10 minutes ago,
yes,
he's still alive.
Yes. His name is Wally Amos.
Oh, Wally Amos.
Wally Amos,
I like
yes.
that, yeah.
And he is a former talent agent with the William Morris Agency.
Well, that's big. That's big.
So he was born in Tallahassee, Florida, but moved to New York City at the age of 12 to live with his aunt, where they often baked cookies together. Amos dropped out of high school, but earned his GED while serving in the Air Force. In 1957, he returned to New York and joined the William Morris Agency, where he worked his way up from the mailroom to become the first black talent agent in the industry.
My goodness, man.
Yeah. So Amos headed the rock and roll department, where he signed Simon and Garfunkel.
He did. They really?
And worked with Motown megastars like the Supremes, Diana Ross, Sam Cooke, and Dionne Warwick.
My gosh, now when we hear these groups on Legends, we're going to be thinking about Famous Amos.
Yeah.
The Cookie Man.
So Amos would often send his home-baked chocolate chip cookies to celebrities to entice them to meet and perhaps sign a deal with the agency.
Is that what you do?
I guess.
Was that back in the day? I don't think they do that
back in the
anymore.
day, yeah. So Amos hit a plateau working for the William Morris Agency and decided to strike out on his own. So on March 10th, 1975, Amos took the advice of some friends, and with $25,000 from singers Marvin Gaye and Helen Reddy, he opened a cookie store on Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood and named it Famous Amos. That's right, Marvin Gaye and Helen Reddy
funded the first Famous
Yes.
Amos store. That's so, it's so wild to see somebody, because everybody, like in this industry and advertising, that's what they want to be, advertising agency. They want to be top dog, and that's a big agency. And he just steps out and says, I'm going to go sell cookies.
And by the way, I'm going to get my friends Marvin Gaye and Helen Reddy to give me some money to help out. Yeah.
A good story.
Yeah. The grand opening was a star-studded gala attended by 1,500 people.
Jeez.
So Famous Amos was the real star of the brand, appearing on packaging and merchandise in his signature straw hat and embroidered cotton shirt.
I love it.
In the first year, he sold $300,000 worth of cookies, followed by more than $1 million in sales in the store's second year of operation.
Wow.
He became such a known figure culturally that he was in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade from 1977 to 1981, and he made guest appearances on hit TV shows like The Jeffersons and Taxi.
Did he really?
He did. By 1982, the company's revenues reached $12 million. The store proved so popular that the Famous Amos brand eventually branched out to sell cookies in supermarkets, a move that would later be emulated by other specialty stores like Baskin-Robbins, TGI Fridays, and Starbucks.
But he was the pioneer.
He was. However, by 1984, sales had begun to slow, and Amos started to sell parts of the business. In March of the following year, Amos sold 51% interest in the company in an attempt to salvage the business. That year, the company had lost $300,000 as revenue slipped to $10 million. 2 sales later, the new owners added shelf-stable ingredients and repositioned the cookies as an affordable brand, prompting its famous founder to depart in frustration.
Wait, so the issue was then that they were making the cookies and they were too fresh. They weren't shelf-stable. They didn't have preservatives in them.
Yeah.
And so they put preservatives in, and that's what
made him quit. Yeah.
Right.
So in 1992, a company called the President Baking Company bought Famous Amos for $61 million, and that was more than 55 times what Wally Amos sold his controlling stake for just a few years earlier.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. That year, Wally Amos tried to launch another cookie business, but because the name Famous Amos was trademarked by his former company, he was promptly sued for trademark infringement and forbidden from using his own name and likeness. That's going to put a damper on trying to start another company.
What year was that when that happened?
It was in the 90s, I think.
In the 90s
yeah.
they turned,
The Famous Amos brand has gone through a number of owners since then and is currently owned by Ferrero. like Ferrero Rocher.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, Ferrero Rocher.
Amos has traveled as a motivational speaker and written 10 books about his experiences, many with a self-help theme.
So what's he doing today? Do you know how Mr. Amos is doing?
I don't know. I read that he was on He went on Shark Tank.
As a contestant?
Yeah, I think it was like in 2018.
Oh.
But nobody invested in he was trying to start another cookie company.
Helen Reddy invested the first time through.
Well, I think the problem is he can't use his name or his likeness, and that's like...
Oh, so they don't care.
I don't know. It'd be tough to start a new business from that.
Yeah,
So
you're right.
Anyway, today there is a sign commemorating the first Famous Amos store in Hollywood, and Famous Amos's shirt and hat are on display at the Smithsonian National Museum of American History.
Yeah, all right, he's got that at least.
He does.
All right, you picked out a record to go along with the Famous Amos, did you, Sarah?
Yes, so we're going to play a song by The Cookies.
Yeah.
We're going to play Don't Say Nothing Bad About My Baby.
All right, we'll do it, Sarah. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
All right, now we are in the podcast only portion of the
It's kind of sad that none of the Sharks invested in him, right? I mean,
come on, they should have.
I think they were all like, it's like starting a new company because he can't like say, I'm Famous Amos.
So was he just pitching cookies? Is that what he was?
Yeah, so I think it was like...
He didn't bring anything new to the table?
No, it was like cookies but it was like he was in Hawaii at the time, so it was called like Big Kahuna Cookie or so, I don't know, something like that, similar to that. And he, nobody invested in him, and I think now he lives in like South Carolina or something, and I don't know if he's trying to start another cookie business, but the Sharks all recommended like get out of the cookie business because he tried a couple other times too, I think, and it didn't.
Oh, that's too bad. How old is Mr. Famous Amos?
I think he's like in his 80s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have to. He was just a workaholic. Is that what it is? He shouldn't have to start a new business in his 80s.
I don't
he should
know.
just
Well, he
relax.
probably needs the
Think
money.
he needs the money?
Probably. He sold his company, and
Yeah, but he should have. You don't think he socked some of that money away?
I don't know.
Oh, this is
I don't know.
heartbreaking.
It
This
is.
very
It's
sad.
I know, right? It's like kind of took a sad turn.
It started out so well.
Yeah.
He left the William Morris agency. He started his own business, and then now you got me sad. Maybe he lives in a nice house in South Carolina. He's right on the water. Maybe he's just chilling.
Right? He hangs out, sits on the beach all day.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh man. Oh man, Sarah.
I think he tried to branch out into muffins.
Oh.
That didn't work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you can't really. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard when you can't use your name or your likeness because everyone knows Famous Amos, but
Sure.
you can't say that that's who it is,
Right.
or else he'll get sued. Like that's tough.
That is tough.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad. That's too bad. All right, I got to practice my lines here. What do I say? Marvin Gaye and Helen Reddy were early investors of Famous Amos. I practice my line now. All right. When's the last time you had Famous Amos cookies?
I don't know. I was just trying to think about that. I have no idea.
It's been a long time.
It's been a
They
very
do still
long
sell
time.
them though, I guess?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're still around. I don't know where, but
All right, stand by. We're coming back. We're coming back from the broadcast. Legends 1027, the biggest hits in the history of the world. Those are the Cookies, and Don't Say Nothing Bad About My Baby. Sarah, do remind us, why did we just play that record?
because we were talking about Famous Amos,
Yes.
which was founded in 1975. That's our Throwback Thursday year.
Let's recap 3 things we must take away from today's Wiki Corner. Are you ready?
Ready.
Go.
All right, the real Famous Amos was a talent agent for the William Morris Agency.
Marvin Gaye and Helen Reddy were early investors of Famous Amos.
And Famous Amos's hat and shirt are now on display at the Smithsonian National Museum of American History.
Well, hopefully that wasn't his last shirt and hat.
I don't think so.
We know he's
No.
he's in his 80s.
Yeah.
And he's, not in a great situation financially. He, sold off his business and all that. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, if he does need a shirt and hat, he knows where he can get it. Folks want to learn more about Famous Amos. Sarah, where do they go? What do they do?
Well, you can go to my Wiki blog
Yes.
if you go to legends1027.com. On the homepage, there's a link that takes you to my blog where I post everything I talk about every day.
It is all right there. Do check it out, please. And Sarah, you come back tomorrow, 4:10, fresh episodes?
I sure will.
Looking forward to it. Traffic and weather on the way next. We'll do some Atlantic Stars, some ELO and Supertramp on the way on Legends 1027.